In another thrust of diplomacy, Pakistan's Prime Minister has arrived in Qatar on a working visit. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif arrived in Doha today, Thursday, for a working visit to the country. The accompanying delegation were welcomed by Qatar's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Sultan bin Saad Al-Muraikhi. Osama Javaid joins us now live from Doha. So, Osama, we have the Pakistani military chief in Iran and Pakistan's Prime Minister on this regional tour. He's now, as I say, just arrived here in Qatar. Then he's off to Turkey, I think. What have you been able to establish as to how things are unfolding?
Well, as you heard, all roads lead through Pakistan for a diplomatic off-ramp between the United States and Iran. Let's tie it all together. You've got the Pakistani army chief in Tehran. You've got the Pakistani prime minister who was in Saudi Arabia yesterday, in Qatar today, and tomorrow in Turkiye. And then we're hearing there's going to be some shuttle diplomacy between Pakistan and Washington, D.C. Where are we at? Well, the situation is that the Pakistanis have taken a number of proposals to both sides, and they are negotiating between them. You've heard from sources that the army chief is, quote, ironing out the differences in Tehran in person, because a lot of this has to be done in confidence. Again, you have to remember that these are risky deployments because of the threat that Israel poses. We've been talking about multiple detractors in Iran, in Washington, D.C., and above all of them is Israel, which, according to the Pakistanis, does not want any peace in the region. So now they have to convince the Iranians that there is going to be a ceasefire in Lebanon that they want. There is going to be an asset unfreeze that they've been asking for. It has to convince the United States that Iran is able to open the Strait of Hormuz unconditionally and is going to give a guarantee about its nuclear fissile material that is in Iran and about its ambitions to make a nuclear weapon. All of that has been long-standing maximalist positions that each side has dug their heels on. The Pakistanis are quite hopeful that because of this shuttle diplomacy, either they are going to get a second round through this, or they're going to get the parties to agree to an extension of ceasefire. How long? Well, it could be up to 5 weeks or 45 days. We've heard all sorts of numbers, but the Pakistanis are telling us that diplomacy is best done behind closed doors, in secrecy, under trust. And that trust they're trying to bridge because the Iranians and the Americans have said it publicly that they just do not trust each other.
Right. So much up in the air right now. Osama, thanks for that. Osama Javaid here in Doha.